what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides, and I am back here at Moss Nissan in Newport Richey, Florida, because many of you have been asking, hey, what's going on with the mid-size sedan segment? And you know what? A salesperson, an old student, and a friend of mine, Samantha, is the lucky owner of this all-new, totally redesigned, totally restyled 2019 Nissan Altima. Now, Nissan's been around for many, many years now, selling cars from coast to coast here in the United States. Their lineup has gotten a little stale over the years, especially in that mid-size segment, because as many of you are aware, the CUVs, the SUVs, and the trucks are just taking over. Well, Nissan is coming back, and they're coming back strong, and they think that they have one hell of a contender here with this 2019 Nissan Altima. I definitely want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to Samantha here at Moss Nissan, and I want to thank everybody at Moss Nissan for opening up the doors. She's let me review her beauty because this color, I think you would agree, just pops. So let's go ahead and start at the front of the Nissan Altima. They have knocked the ball right out of the park. I love what Nissan has done. They have brought some style back into that mid-size sedan car segment. I love the all-new lighting that they're using. You know, with better lighting technology, the housings are getting smaller. I love the style. I really, really like the lower marker lights down here. Now, this is a fake vent, but you know what? It looks okay. It's not too huge. It's not trying to be something that it's not. It's really just allowing the styling of the front of this car. This is probably my favorite part right here. Nissan is really trying to bring in a specific hue, and it's this V shape in the grille. I really love how they took it all the way down to the lower portion of the front bumper. You can see the large Nissan badge right in the center, and it's a nice piano black. The quality of the materials has definitely stepped up. If you haven't been in an Altima in a while, you may say, man, is this that old stale stuff? No, this is all 2019 goodness. I really, really just love the finish, and this copper color just pops in the sun. Really, really think that this is probably my favorite part of the car. What's nice is lots of different trim levels. So this one is a premium. It's got a 2.5 inline four, naturally aspirated. You can take it to different levels. They have an SR with a turbocharged inline four. They're even bringing all-wheel drive to the Nissan Altima. Let's go ahead and take a look at the side, because here's another favorite part that I like. Brand new, nicely styled 19-inch wheels. So when we say 19 inches, we're talking about the diameter of the wheel. Very nicely styled. I like the brushed aluminum. I like the gloss black. It really makes it feel like an upscale car. I've been in those old Altimas. I've been in the older model Nissans, and like I said, the fit and finish was kind of getting so-so. They really brought it back to a higher level, and get ready, because a lot of their other models are going to get this same treatment. Let's continue down the side. Very nice the way they went the direction with the black mirrors. I think that is a great touch because it doesn't make it look like it just sticks out. I love the greenhouse of the roof. It's a nice space between the top of the door and the top of the roof. I like the chrome trim. A lot of times I'm not really a big fan of chrome trim, but they did just enough. It really works well on the door with the wheels. Very nice touch. This one does have a nice sunroof on it. It's not panoramic, but it is a good size, and it's nice to have those options. And I think what you're going to find is with the Nissan Altima, there is something for everybody. You know, whether you want to go fully loaded or you want to go maybe come in at a little bit on the lower end, there's something really for everybody. Here's one of my favorite parts, the floating roof design. This is a new design that Nissan really has brought into the forefront. The reason why they call this a floating roof is not because the roof is actually floating, it's because of this right here on the rear pillar. By blacking this out, as you can see, the copper does not touch the actual rear fender. So that gives it that floating appearance. It first came into the Nissan Maxima. That's really where you saw when they did the restyle of that floating roof, and it's spilling over into other cars. Here is that wonderful rear end. Now you'll notice, you'll say, hold on a second, there's no badging. Well, this is Samantha's personal car. She debadged it. I love the look, but obviously you would have the Nissan logo up here. It would say Altima and all that great stuff, but I love the way they restyled the taillights. Here's another thing that I think they just nailed perfectly is this rear diffuser. Dual exhaust, one exhaust on each side. I really think if they would have went with a single exhaust, it would have looked a little cheap. But I like the way it almost, I want to say, and I know maybe some of you might debate this, and hey, put it in the comment section. Almost looks like the back of an Audi in a way, to be honest with you, just the way that it's styled. But if you think the outside is something special, let's go ahead and take a look, not only at the engine, but eventually that interior. But let's go check out underneath the hood. All right, guys, here we are underneath the hood of the all-new 2019 Nissan Altima. That is a naturally aspirated 2.5 inline-4, puts out 188 horsepower. This car weighs about 3,250 pounds. What you're looking at performance-wise, it is mated to a CVT. So you're looking at 0 to 60 in about 8.1 seconds, quarter mile in about 16.4. I know a lot of you are not really the biggest fans with CVTs, but it seems like some of these manufacturers, like Nissan, like Subaru, are sticking with it. It's very simplistic underneath the hood. You know, the plastic cover, nothing really much going on. I wish they would have maybe redesigned that, made it look a little futuristic, sort of like with the front of the car. There's so much chrome here, they could have took some of that and put it on the cover just to jazz it up a little bit. But it is that typical Nissan affair under here. And at the end of the day, 188 horsepower, it's going to get you great gas economy, and it's going to get you to where you need to go and do it in style. Like I promised you, the outside was great. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside of this 2019 Altima. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 Nissan Altima. This is going to be my favorite part of the car. This is where you're spending the time. Nissan did their homework. Let's start on the door panels. You can see the higher grade of materials. They're using leather on the back portion of the door panel and also that armrest. I do like the faux carbon fiber there. It's nothing too flashy. It's nothing too, glitzy. It really just fits in with the personality of the car. I love the contrast stitching. Works well with the copper metallic finish on this car, and it follows right in. Check out the dash. You could see the stitching and just wonderful. The silver breaks up all the black, and then it flows nicely. Look at these seats. Very, very nicely done. They're a combination of leather with some nice cloth material in the center. These are going to be, heated and ventilated and everything. Wonderful, and they're comfortable. These seats, I'm telling you, some of the other manufacturers can take a lesson from Nissan. Very, very comfortable. As soon as I sat in this car, I was like, wow, amazing. You got the sunroof, and check out the infotainment system. I really like the direction that a lot of manufacturers are going with this nice size screen. That's an 8-inch screen. It's got great clarity. I'm gonna go ahead, it's got a push button start. I'm sure Samantha doesn't mind. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up, and we'll see. Hopefully she doesn't have her music too loud, and we'll see what comes out. Look at the wonderful Nissan logo that comes up. You got that Nissan Connect. A lot of companies are going to systems like that. Obviously she has the stereo set up on it, but it has a lot of different controls. You got your Sirius XM, you got your Bluetooth controls. I don't want to mess around too much with it, but very, very clear graphics, very simple to navigate through, and it transitions very quickly, which is very nice. So I'm nice to see all that kind of stuff, and it's just a very, very wonderful system. You have different camera settings and whatnot. You could go to your home menu. There's your customizable link where you could click on that and set up different things. So lots of things to learn about and play with. I do like the size of the AC vents. Very, very nicely done. I like the center console area. It's at a good height. You have a wonderful USB connections here. You could place your phone right in this nice little cubby. You got your start-stop button. That same silver. They took the silver and they brought it down. I like the simplicity of the AC controls. I'm telling you, you could see how this whole thing about simplistic, minimizing all the different buttons and all that. And here's another thing I'm sure a lot of you are glad are back. 2 knobs. They got 2 radio knobs. For a long time, a lot of manufacturers were just going to touch screens. It's nice to see the knobs. They're very easy to use. You don't have to do all this other junk to it and whatnot. So they're very easy to use. Here's our wonderful automatic transmission. It's a CVT, but I do like them. When I say wonderful, I'm talking about the way it looks. I do like the leather, I like the orange contrast in there, and I like the way they brought the silver in here, and there's some of that faux carbon fiber around the cup holders. Very, very nicely padded leather armrests. And like I said, I'm 6 feet tall. Great position, great position. Speaking of position, why don't you come on this side and I'll show you the business end of what it's like to drive this Nissan Altima. Come on over. All right, guys, here we are behind the wheel, the business end. I do like what Nissan's doing with the steering wheel. Very good looking steering wheel, very good size. I like the thickness of it. I like the way they brought the silver into the steering wheel. It is flat bottom. I know a lot of you guys and girls love a flat bottom steering wheel. You have your radio controls. It does have the ability to shift using the paddles. Obviously that's going to be simulated shifting because remember, a CVT transmission has no gears. I do also really like the gauge layout. It's almost reminiscent of a Subaru in the way where it's very large, clear analog gauges. I like the silver, and then you have a wonderful LED system in the center between the two gauges. Very nicely done. You have a leather hood over the gauges with that contrast stitching. I'm telling you, Nissan did do their homework and did bring some value into this car. You're looking at a wonderful overall package, and like I said, there's many different options in between, from the base all the way up to the SR Platinum. Something for everybody. But if you're ready, I'm ready to wrap this one up. All right, guys, it's been one hell of a day here at Moss Nissan. I definitely got to give a huge shout out to Samantha. You definitely want to give her a call. She wound up buying the product. The people here that sell these wonderful cars are also customers themselves. So thank you, Samantha. Thank you, everybody at Moss Nissan, for just opening up their doors, allowing Raiti's Rides to come in and film. And you can see that the mid-size segment is not dead. If you're wondering, well, what is the MSRP on this? You're looking at around $27,000, and that is, like we mentioned earlier, that premium level option grade, and you can see all the wonderful things that come with that. If these are the types of cars that you like to see on Raiti's Rides, definitely leave a comment in that comment section. If you have not subscribed yet, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back every single day. There's always something new on Raiti's Rides. If you have been a subscriber, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being part of the community, the family here on Raiti's Rides. It just keeps growing and getting bigger and bigger, and I'm just so proud to be sharing the videos, sharing the passion, sharing the love with all of you. You definitely want to check out my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. All Raiti's Rides original content all the time. Merch. A lot of you have been asking, hey, I want to support Raiti's Rides. I want to promote Raiti's Rides. Well, guess what? You could get to the Raiti's Rides merch shop. There was a button link right at the start of this video. If you didn't click on that, you could click on the About tab of my homepage, Raiti's Rides homepage. Lower left-hand corner says Raiti's Rides merch store. Hats, bandanas, bags, the whole 9 yards. Listen, fellas, if you love your woman, get her some Raiti's Rides merch. She will love you 10 times back in exchange. Who could ask for anything more? Speaking of asking for anything more, got to give a huge shout out to Big Guns McGee, Tom Motioner, working the camera. He's working out at the gym. He's getting ready for his big powerlifting competition, so definitely share some love with him. And I know Tom just loves bringing the angles. You guys love it. Leave some comments for him down in that comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.